Hi everyone, and welcome to the first ever episode of the I've Always Said That podcast. I'm Megan.
I'm Nikki. I'm JoJo.
I'm Gianna.
And I'm Taylor.
And we're so excited to have you here. We're going to be putting out new episodes every Wednesday, so make sure you're following us on all social media platforms to keep up with us.
What you can expect is basically a FaceTime call with your friend. We're going to be talking about all of our hot takes. We're going to be talking about dating and not so much dating in the city. What else are we going to talk about?
Working in New York City, epic highs and lows.
What it's really like to be a girl in the city.
Being a woman in her early to mid 20s, just living.
Current pop culture.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a lot of other stuff.
Yes. You'll basically just be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 person in our friend group.
Yeah. You really get the inside scoop of what it's like to be our friend.
Hey besties, Nikki here. Before we get into it, we wanted to apologize for the fact that none of us knew our microphones were not recording this whole time. Our bad. Although this is the classic mess around you'll get from 5 women who are not in STEM. We can't wait for you to listen to our podcast as intended. Enjoy the rest of the episode.
So as I said before, still Megan. You can call me Meg. I'm rebranding to Meg. I decided that recently.
I love it in me.
I'm announcing now. I'm Meg.
Hot take.
I'm 23, living in New York City, working in fashion, and
Why did you move to New York?
Why did I move to New York? Oh my God, that's such a good question. Because I went to school here. I went to the Fashion Institute of Technology, so that's kind of stuck around afterwards. It's been 6 years, and New York's not getting rid of me anytime soon.
I am also still Nikki. I'm 23, and I also moved to New York for college.
I am JoJo. Recently had a birthday. Sad to say, I'm 24. Thank you. Why did I move to the city? I moved here for school, but really I just, growing up in my hometown, I always felt like not supposed to be here, supposed to be in New York City. And so the second I got to college, I was like, never leaving, and I never have.
Again, I'm Gianna. Still. Yes, still. I'm 23, gonna be 24 soon, in about a couple weeks. I just recently, about a year and a half ago, moved here after college. And I was just I'm in marketing, so I was looking to branch out to a new area. And Nikki, we are hometown friends, so I just was talking to her one day, and she was like, "Yeah, come with me." So yeah.
Still Taylor. Common theme. I'm 23. I work in social media, and I came to the city like everyone else for school, and 6 years later, I'm still here. So, common theme among us. We went to FIT and never left.
Yeah, well, 4
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5 of us did, yes.
Gianna's like an honorary FIT girl.
Yes. Yeah, I wish I went there.
Retired sorority girl.
Gianna is our resident retired sorority girl who went to a real college.
Real college.
Woo. So let's get into a little bit of why we all kind of wanted to do the damn thing, shall we?
Yeah.
So me personally, I wanted to do the damn thing because I just think we all have a lot to say, and I think really just girls need more representation in the media. Believe women and listen to women at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So just by listening to our podcast, you are supporting the movement of women. That's it.
I wanted to start a podcast because I just wanted to hold a rhinestone microphone.
Live your Hannah Montana.
I was just gonna say that.
I'm literally living my Hannah Montana fantasy. This is the reason. And if I could get
Liam Payne mic flip.
Oh
yes.
shit!
If I
Nice.
could somehow get all 4 of you on board, then I was like, all right, let's do an actual podcast. But I kind of really just wanted the microphone. So
That is a very noble reason.
Yeah.
And
So
I
real
love
for
that.
one.
yeah,
You're so real for that. When this friend group formed, I always said I've always said.
And I've always
I've
said
always
same
said-
thing.
Always said that.
Our
Oh,
first
that's
I've
our
always,
first one.
Our first I've always said.
We've
I-
always
yeah.
said that.
We've always said that this friend group should not work. We are such incredibly different people, and I've never been in such a personality-wise diverse friend group. And you know, the conversations that we have, we always say, like, there has to be someone out there who also thinks this, and we always just have the best conversations and the weirdest takes, and I personally, you know, haven't found in a group in my 24 years of living on this earth. And I thought, you know, if we could have a little community of like-minded people, if we even have one person who, you know, we make as a friend along the way, then we can share our friendship with someone.
I'm not gonna lie, podcasting's a little out of my comfort zone. I grew up a little bit of a shy girl. A little more outgoing now though after college. But yeah, I don't know, when you guys brought up the idea, I just kind of went with the flow, and I'm glad that I did, because it's been so fun doing this, and I think it's going to be really fun just having the pod in general, like just a fun thing for us to do
Just
every
looking
Sunday.
back on one day.
Yeah.
It's a record of our friendship.
Exactly.
No, this has been like the most fun because we meet at least once a week. I feel like we always have an excuse to hang out. Like when we were putting it together, I was missing. Didn't see you guys for like a few days, and I was like, oh my god, like feeding.
Get the shakes. Get
the
the
shakes.
shakes.
We were getting withdrawals, which I never actually understood those friend groups that were like, I can't go a day without seeing her, and then I joined this friend group, and I'm like, oh god,
Literally
biting my nails,
texting.
we're not together.
Yeah, because it's kind of like in high school, like you see your friends every day, and it's kind of like a given. But then as you get older, like you keep having to put in the effort to see each other. And I feel like when the five of us became really close, it was just kind of like a given that we'd always see each other. So it was like, it seems like we're at the perfect time in our lives to do this. Like Meghan and I had talked about a podcast for a while, but we didn't really
Know
make
what to do.
yeah, we didn't really know how to like start it, because it is like a lot of work for like two people who don't know what they're doing.
Also, we have such similar personalities. There wouldn't be any sort of
Back and forth.
bread and butter.
Yeah.
Dare I say?
So
Yeah.
I think that there's a reason that didn't happen, and why we like kind of didn't really like lift it up off the floor, because it was definitely meant to be like the five of us, and you know,
Yeah, I definitely believe in fate, and the amount of things that happen to lead us all to this moment where the five of us are here. Like all four of us went to FIT. 3 of us were in the same major. Gianna is hometown friends with Nikki, but we just became friends. What, a few months ago? Like,
Yeah.
I think we're planning to go in deeper to the lore of our friend group. Maybe in our second or third episode, but yeah, no, you're right. It's like it feels like it should have happened sooner, but there's a reason why it didn't. So,
100%.
you know,
So the 5 of us are really looking forward to creating a corner of the internet where you can just go and feel really comfortable and you're feeling at home, whatever's stressing you out, just come and hang out with us. Be the 6th friend.
yeah,
Come hang
yeah,
out.
6th friend.
Be our 6th. That's our proposition.
And if you're not from New York or living in New York, this will give you a little taste of what it's like living, dating, whatever else in New York.
We do have in the group, you know, some native New Yorkers and non-native New Yorkers. So
Wendy Williams.
okay. How you doing?
How you doing?
And if you're a listener of the podcast and you're visiting New York City, comment on our Instagram and come hang out with us.
We can give you some recommendations of
Yeah.
where we think is fun to go if you're needing anything.
Yeah.
This is just a travel guide for New York.
Guide for the New York girlies.
This should be New York's ad. This is going to be New York's commercial.
This is New York.
Honestly, like I feel like so much of our group chat, like the TikToks we send is like, you know, best places to go in New York, and it's like I feel like for the most part we haven't really found where our group fits into those kind of videos, because it's like either really bougie places, you know, or like the places that we usually go to are a little classless.
Places you can go absolute feral.
Yes, a little classless, or you can go Jimmy Fallon mode. So, like, I feel like it'll be interesting to, like, you know, give our recommendations to someone who fits, like, in the middle of, like, you know, classless and bougie.
Yeah, yeah, and we can get into a little bit of what's to come with that because, you know, I'm sure you guys are dying to know what's to come.
Yeah, so we're gonna, just keep it light this episode, but in the coming episodes, we have a couple themed parties planned with our friend group and some other friends, and potentially some Hinge dates.
TBD
Question
on
mark?
that.
Big question mark on the Hinge
Check
dates.
in next week.
Yeah. To see if anyone shows up.
Yeah, so the basis of this party is that we were all supposed to bring a Hinge match that we were meeting for the first time, and we were going to all meet together at a bar. And the funny thing is that we have all been trying to get a date for over a month now, and none of us have one.
I allegedly have one, but I have not spoken to him since he accepted. So
Which was
Like over a week ago, right?
maybe like a week ago, he just liked my message when I was like, okay, cool.
Oh,
So
That's absolutely sick.
yeah, that's kind of vile.
Yeah, I mean, we've really all been working on it. Like, I had one person who I really wanted to bring, but he's busy. So,
I mean, maybe he'll make an appearance.
yeah, maybe guest appearance.
Yeah, we'll also be going into, so to preface, to make sure that we were bringing the right people, we created a Google form, and we'll also be getting into that as well because we have some absolutely classless, unhinged responses from men that we send the form to.
Mm-hmm.
Which will be on our TikTok, so make sure you're
Yeah.
following our TikTok. Smash that like button, share it, please. Follow us on TikTok. Needing the engagement.
But yeah, it's been really fun so far. And we were just so excited to finally film our first episode.
Yeah.
It's been a long ride.
A long time coming. A lot of ups, a lot of downs.
Lots of downs.
Lots of downs.
Lots of downs.
Lots
We're
of
still going.
lots of
We're
nervous
here.
breakdowns.
At the end of the day, we're here.
Down tremendously at some point.
Seriously. The man at Guitar Center doesn't ever want to see Megan's face again.
Oh no.
So we had to buy equipment, obviously, to start a podcast. So took a little journey down to the New York City Guitar Center. And I had questions because I don't know how technology works. And that man, if I am ever found dead in a ditch, the man at Guitar Center put a hit out on me. We absolutely hated me. Taylor can vouch for this. Taylor was with me.
But we introduced ourselves. We were like, we are complete idiots. We're stupid. He had to draw us a photo to explain it to us because we just were not getting it. Me, probably more than Meghan. No, it was all around. Nobody was understanding each other, and he
Big
hated us.
miscommunication.
It was brutal. But we're here now, and now we're connoisseurs.
Shout out to him. I hope he's
You know who you are.
I hope he's listening.
You know, maybe
Did
he
you
is.
plug us? No.
No.
It's embarrassing. Absolutely humiliating. We don't even have an episode out.
He's looking at her like wanting to kill her with his eyes, and she's gonna plug us.
I'm like, hey, by the way, I'm starting a podcast. Would you mind opening up your phone? I'll just type it in on Instagram or TikTok. What do you got?
He would have reported us.
He would have been our downfall.
Would have gotten the Instagram shut down for a second time.
Yeah. Yep.
So you're following us on Instagram. That is our second go around on the app, due to the fact that when I first made the Instagram, I decided to follow about 500 people in hopes, at least a quarter of them would follow back. And Instagram thought I was a bot and could never get into that one. So RIP to always said that pod on Instagram.
Amazing.
May she rest in peace.
May she rest
Yes.
in peace.
Yes.
R.I.P.
So something a little more relevant, topical, we had a birthday party last
did.
night.
We did.
Last
Had
night.
a birthday in the house.
Yeah.
Happy birthday from Applebee's to you. We wish it was our birthday so we could party too.
Yes.
Let's get into it.
Get into it. Shout out to all my Aquarians.
Aquarium.
Yeah,
Literally, see?
I meant like the astrological sign, if anyone's
Anyone's
Tuning
listening
in.
underwater.
from down under.
Shout out to
Shout-
the mermaids.
Shout out to all the people with gills.
Down under, Australians.
Oh my god, shout out to all our Australians.
You know what? Let us know where you're watching this
Yeah,
from.
let us know where you're watching this from, but I did mean like Aquarians, like people who fall under the astrological sign Aquarius. And fun fact about me, I have the same sun, moon, and rising sign as Paris Hilton.
Wow.
One of my very few biases.
Slay.
So I did have a birthday last week, and I had the very bright idea to have a birthday party where everyone who came had to be dressed as me or an era I've had. I have this absolute sickness where I have to look like a different person quarterly. Every quarter hits, new me.
Rebrand.
That's
what I'm always
Brands all
saying.
around.
Exactly.
Meg.
Jar Jar.
Yes. So to preface, in middle school, I was like super obsessed with the band MCR. I was like super emo kid. My left eye did not see the sun for many years. Hair was always over it. I had purple hair for a while. I have green hair now. Got a nose job. Had a really few weird years too. So I gave a lot to work with in terms of like the participants. So we can go around and say who is which JoJo.
I was nose job era JoJo. And if you want to see what the looks look like, follow us on TikTok. There is a video.
We will be posting a side by side of me when I had my nose job
It's a
and
visual aid.
and Megan.
I came dressed as JoJo going to the club. I gave my best little glittery euphoria-ish makeup and like cute little black dress.
You wore my blouse too.
And I did wear JoJo's cardigan. So yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, mine was thrown together last minute, and JoJo actually threw a Coca-Cola shirt at me, and I was
You wore my
Diet Coke because that's her favorite drink.
Yeah,
And the purse.
Oh, and the sparkly bedazzled purse that looks like Nikki's microphone.
I love a good DC.
And I was everyday JoJo because I really just wanted to wear the green extensions.
Yeah.
And I was gonna try and find a Diet Coke shirt. Didn't find that, so I did wear a Rolling Stones shirt.
I like the Rolling Stones.
So there we go.
Taylor's outfit was giving Victoria justice in the first ever episode she was in Zoe 101.
Oh my
God.
gosh.
She looked like Lola.
Well, it happens, but
Yeah.
I mean, you did look like Avril Lavigne too.
It worked
If
for
she
you.
got punched in the face.
There was fake blood dripping down her nose and everything. I also had another nose job, JoJo, in attendance. What other JoJos were there? There was Skype.
High school JoJo.
There was
High
so
school
my
JoJo.
best friend from high school, his name is Matthew. Hi Matthew. He went to our actual uniform store. We went to a private school, and he bought the uniform, the girls' uniform from
Matthew ate. Let's just.
He left no crumbs.
He's
That's
like
no
7
problem. He
foot
was
tall.
licking the floor.
We-
We were all starving because there was no room. There was nothing left on the table for us.
No crumbs left.
He also decided to wear heels, which made him about, I'd say, 6'4".
Preface JoJo's about 5 foot.
No, I'm
4'11".
4'11".
4'11", even shorter.
I'm not Snooki, babe. Yeah, no, I'm 4'11". So you can imagine current JoJo next to high school JoJo was quite a sight.
Were you allowed to wear heels?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely, that was an artistic. That was an artistic choice. So I'd say if there was a price, he probably would have gotten it. High school JoJo. What else? Who else was there? Was Skype era JoJo. When I was about 12 years old, I was really into Skyping. I'm not gonna elaborate on that. But all my Ubu girlies probably understand.
I was on
Remember
Ubu.
Ubu Jolly?
I was on Ubu.
We were We were on.
We were on.
Do you remember you'd like screenshot it and then you'd have to post like an album to your Facebook?
Oh
Yeah, and then you would have to you would have all of your friends. You would be like, okay, everyone make a pose, like 1, 2, 3, and then like screenshot
or, like,
everyone.
And then it would be your Facebook profile picture, also just a really zoomed in, pixelated photo of you from Woo.
you know,
Yeah.
before
That was
yeah.
a memory that just got unlocked.
before
Yeah.
FaceTime,
Yeah.
you were like Skyping or Wooing with your friends, and they would screenshot a candid of you, and it's like the worst you've ever looked in your entire life, and they post it.
And I will say, Uber was a little ahead of its time with their
Yeah.
filters because,
Oh.
you know, those like TikTok filters where it just keeps like your eyes and you become like, you know, the roll of toilet paper or whatever. Like, Uber had that.
They did.
I was
You're right.
a pug, like,
Yeah.
5 nights a week.
No days off.
No days
No.
a week. No days off. I was a pug 5 nights a week.
A dirty dog.
I was just a dirty little dog on Ubu, like with my friends, and my screenshot picture would always be me as a pug.
And then you'd
yeah.
post the screenshots, and then you'd get into a fight with your friends in the comments, being like, "Delete this right now."
But
and your friend would
also,
just be like, "Ella."
and also, who wasn't invited to the Ubu would see it. Yeah.
Oh, I
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was also insane. Sorry, I cut you off. Because you'd be like in your family room. You'd just be on your
Yeah.
family's
Yes.
computer,
I used
having
to,
conversations for everyone in your house to hear.
Yeah.
I used to game on Uvu.
Oh.
Gamer girl?
Not
Where's
game
your
on
mom?
Uvu. I used to have my headsets and I would just be like gaming, and then all the boys would be in the Uvu. And I'm like,
What would you be playing? The
Call of
Sims?
Duty, zombies, or something.
Oh, no, I thought you were gonna say,
Gianna
like,
was a
Temple
gamer
Run.
girl. I had a little brother.
Shout out to Nico. Shout out to all the Skype and Ubu girlies. For
So,
ref-
circling back,
yes. Well, I would like to also say, if anyone remembers their old Ubu or Skype names, my Skype name, I also created Skype when I was like probably 12, was Snake Bites Are Hot.
That is so you.
That is
Yeah.
so JoJo.
yeah.
My username on everything growing up was Dancer26, so I can only assume that
Yeah.
it was Dancer26.
I feel like mine was like Cinderella 17 or like Cinderella 18.
I can't remember my Ubu, but my Skype 100% was Nikki.awesomeness.
Yeah.
Like period, not like dot. Like, spell it
Legitness.
out.
I think
That was legit.
Legitness.
God is my witness.
I think I remember mine being volleyball.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it definitely was.
So, only risque one here.
Snake bites are sexy.
They were actually hot.
Oh,
Snake bites
sorry.
are hot.
Like if you agree.
Like, comment
So
down
there
below.
was a Skype JoJo. There were a few everyday JoJos. There was a middle school JoJo. She wore my MCR band tee. There was a Phantom of the Opera JoJo because I'm obsessed with that kind of like gothic aesthetic. What other? Was there another JoJo?
Oh, your
Oh.
sister.
Oh,
Eyebrow JoJo.
Eyebrow JoJo.
My younger sister, Sophie, is the opposite of me in every single way. I'm short, I have dark hair, I'm pale, she's tall, all legs, tan, blonde. Beautiful, big, like Cara Delevingne eyebrows. I don't have those eyebrows. She comes over to the party late, might I add, saying, "You need to go out in 0-degree weather and buy me a glue stick so I can glue my brows down so I can draw on your thin eyebrows." And we will be showing a picture.
Go to the TikTok. I must
Yes.
urge you.
We will be showing a picture. We also have a video of all of the eras of JoJo. You will see. It's crazy. She looks insane. She kind of looks like me a little bit.
Yeah.
It was crazy to see you two next to each other.
That was, yeah. So she was eyebrows JoJo. Were there any other JoJos that I'm missing?
I think we got them all.
Yeah.
Well, if I didn't, you'll find out when you see
You
the
and Julia
TikTok.
were everyday JoJo.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So there were like multiples of certain eras.
Yeah.
There were some repeats of eras. It was very sobering to see a room full of me's. That was my Leo moon. I wanted to know what it would feel like to be surrounded by me, and I can't say
you loved it.
I can't say I would want to experience it again because I could not look some people in the eye.
Going back to
couldn't
Hannah
listen.
Montana, do you remember the episode where she goes to the Halloween party and it's a Hannah Montana themed Halloween party and she has to like defeat her evil cousin?
That's
Yes.
how I felt.
Oh my God.
It's genuinely how I felt.
That was JoJo last
What
night.
was
She had
her-
to defeat me.
It wasn't Miley, but I feel like it was something with an M name. Millie.
Bobby Brown.
Millie Bobby Brown. Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
The twin.
Well, everyone was trying to keep with the JoJo joke, so when someone would say my name, like 10 people would turn around. It was very confusing. But yeah, so I was dividing my time between all JoJos. I don't know which JoJos you guys socialized with, or
All of them.
I struggle to say anything further about my party because I can't accept the fact that I'm in my mid-20s. So
It's really humbling getting older, isn't it?
Yeah.
it really is, and especially since, and I know pretty much anyone who's listening can probably relate, when the pandemic hit, I had just turned 21. I couldn't go out yet because none of my friends were 21. I was the oldest of almost all my friends, so I had celebrated with my mom, my parents. We went to Fig and Olive, which is now closed, the location we went to, so good.
Alright.
Yes, and I was just waiting for everyone to kind of join me. A month and a half later, the pandemic hits, blank, and now I'm in New York City, and I'm 24. How did that happen? You know?
Well, I see like a lot of TikToks and everyone's like, I feel like I've like solidified myself as the age I was when the pandemic
Yes.
hit.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
also moving back home, personally, I age regressed. I was
Yeah.
17 again living at my house.
Oh, yeah.
Full One Direction phase came back swinging.
Oh, yeah.
The gag is that I never aged out of being 16. And although many people may feel like they stunted their growth as a person during the pandemic, I've always been 16. I'll go on the record and say that. Have not changed.
And I've always said that.
And I
I've
have
Always said that.
Yeah. So, I mean, my life now is like astronomically different than where it was right before the pandemic hit, and I'm a completely different person for the better. Might I add, for the better.
Crazy.
Slay what? Slay.
Okay.
Okay, so let me get into that. Okay, so for anyone who's watching, I'm just gonna give you like a shot of my.
I urge you to go to our YouTube and watch the video.
Okay, so let me explain this. Actually, Meghan gave this to me for my birthday. Megan and Taylor. Megan and Taylor gave this to me for my birthday. So about like 2 months ago, we say slay a lot. I don't know. It's a con. Deal with it. And I went to type it in our group chat, and I don't know what I was doing. I was listening to something else. Maybe something was on TV. Does anyone remember?
I think you meant to say like slay a ton.
Oh,
Or like
sorry.
like that slays a ton.
Yes, and I typed Slayington.
Spell it.
SLAYINGTON. Slayington.
Good job, Megan.
Similar to the words Bridgerton or like Paddington Bear. So that's where Slayington came from, and it was so stupid and ridiculous. We just started saying it unironically. So that's the word Slayington. There's also underneath the word Slayington on my sweatshirt is the Lisa Rinna M&M.
Lisa Rinna Eminem.
Yeah.
Because it's one of my favorite memes, and I just send it I send it way too much out of context. And you can imagine my surprise when I opened my birthday present and it was a sweatshirt of the Lisa Rinna M&M with a word I accidentally made up over it.
If anyone from Eminem Incorporated is listening, I did, however, blur the M, so don't come at me with any sort of cease and desist.
I honestly did not.
I blurred the M,
That's so funny.
their logo. No free promo.
No free promo.
So that's Langton.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Took a little pee break.
Yeah.
We did have a little incident during that commercial break.
Turns out my microphone is shitting the bed.
And Gianna also might have a concussion.
I almost got knocked out.
But we're back. We're all back.
Back and better than ever, baby.
Do we want to say what happened to
Yeah.
Gianna, or are we just gonna
So Gianna, in your own words, what happened?
I can't
explain it, but I was sitting here and I was adjusting myself, and Taylor's, what was that? Like a diffuser or something?
Yeah, it's a oil diffuser.
I laid back on the wire and it conked me in the head and spilled all over me, so now it smells pretty good over in this corner.
Gianna smells like roses.
Yeah, I also want to add that she didn't say ow till about 5 seconds after it hit her head, so I didn't know what happened, and I look to my right, and half of her head is soaking wet.
I was so confused. I didn't know what. I thought coffee smelled on my head because we all
you
just
had
bought coffee.
yours in your hand, and I fully thought you missed your mouth. And
I missed my mouth and poured it all over my head.
I was very confused.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So,
If I die tonight, then we
You're not
don't know
gonna die
why.
tonight.
Moving on.
a lot of this podcast is probably going to be our weekly debriefs and, you know, what's currently going on. So we thought it would be fun to kind of start it off with one of our most iconic moments as a friend group, which was our Jersey Shore themed holiday party.
Yes.
So let's get into that.
I would like to preface this by saying we did it first.
We
Someone
did.
in LA did this party like
We
2
did.
weeks ago that Alex Earl attended. Love you, Queen. But we did it first.
We did do it
I
first.
swear, everybody on TikTok, I was seeing so many Jersey Shore videos, like themed parties after we did it, and I was
Yeah, just to be clear too, we didn't go viral or anything. We're just original thinkers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we threw ours in December. Everyone else threw theirs in January.
Yes. We had holiday Ron juice. We
Go
had,
check our TikTok.
Yeah, go check our TikToks.
That's on my personal TikTok.
No,
Yeah,
it's on the
Oh, I posted photos on ours.
Yes.
Yes.
Photos.
So you can see photos of the recap.
us all at Snooki and
Yeah,
True.
the sickest
Just
part.
Snooki.
The sickest part of that party is I'm a makeup girly. I was before it was cool when people relentlessly mocked me for it. So I was like, okay, have to be Snooki, have to be her iconic black smoky eye. I had all these pictures of her pulled up for reference when I was doing my makeup, you know, big hair, and I'm, you know, shorter like her, but like pale, like tan does not look good on me. Like everything about that makeup, I was like, oh god, I'm like a wreck. I finished that look and I was like, why is this slaying so hard? I understand
You
now.
looked so good that night.
I felt good. Like to this day, I'm getting ready for like work sometimes. I'm like, dude, the smoky eye. Yeah, the SSE.
The SSE?
SSE, Smoky Smoky Eye. And I like one of the, I would say it's in like my top 5 like times I felt prettiest in my life. Like that
Shout
makeup
out
was
Snooki.
crazy. Thank
Yeah.
you, Queen. Thank you.
Love you, Queen.
So I loved it.
Whereas my makeup for the party was I got a spray tan for the first time ever.
that was your first
I
time.
never got a spray tan.
Wow.
I was
Oh my
always so
God.
scared because I'm so
Yeah.
pale.
I love spray tan.
I love spray tans. I normally tan,
Yeah.
like self tan, but spray tanning is on a different
I
level.
feel 10 times better when I'm tan.
Oh, 100%.
It makes me think of that episode of Friends when
Oh,
Ross
yeah.
gets spray tan. He turns around. That's what would happen to me.
That's
Okay?
what I felt like.
I know.
Did you go to a person or it was a booth?
Yeah, person.
Oh, I've never done a person.
No, I have only done
That
a
doesn't
person
sound
too.
right.
No, but the person's weird because she's like, okay, go in the room and like I'll knock when I'm ready. So I'm standing there and I'm like, how naked do I get? Like,
She didn't tell you? Like,
no, she's just
How
like,
naked
like
do you
get
get?
as comfortable. So I kept my underwear on. You can wear like, they have like mesh thongs if you needed. So I just kept my own personal one on because I wore brown underwear purposely. And then I had my bra on, but I didn't have it hooked. So I'm just wearing it there, like waiting for her to come in. And she comes in, I'm like, let me take off my bra now. And she's like, oh my god, like it's totally fine. Like if you just wanted to like have your tits out there. Like I see it all day. And I was like, ooh, I didn't know.
You didn't go to someone who you babysat their kids?
Oh my god.
you did?
Yeah.
Oh my
And then she didn't charge me because she's like, oh, like, you're so good to my family. Like, here you
my
go. And
God.
I was like, I felt so weird. Tits out.
Oh wow.
She's like, are you? And I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I've never like gotten a spray tan, done fake tan, like literally have been this shade my entire life.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking like I should just get a spray tan this summer for shits and giggles.
I think you should.
For
You
content,
should.
honestly.
Before we go to
Because
Nashville.
I'm
my
like,
God,
yes.
it would be so like, guys, like, look at me. Like, what would I look like? Like,
Yeah,
it's,
but
like, so
also
crazy
if you
to
go
think
to
about.
a person, they like mix it for you.
That's
What do you
true.
mean?
Like they look at you and they're like, okay, like this is how much of everything you need, so you
Oh,
don't
I
look
didn't
orange.
know
No,
Like,
I
let's
know,
say
but
you
I'm
come in
saying
and you're like, I want a
literally-
level 3. They look at you, that's
No,
No,
but I'm
that's
saying like I
one.
literally have
That's-
been this shade my entire life. Like it's so hard for me to even conceptualize. So
Mm,
stay tuned
stay tuned.
because I'm gonna be doing that.
Nikki gets
So-
a spray tan.
I'm gonna
come
be
and
getting
on
all into that.
TikTok
Yeah.
this summer.
Anyone in New York
Approximately-
City does spray tans. We'll shout you out.
Hit us
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
For
Or if you
sure.
like recommend a really good place.
Would love to
This-
shout out small
this is-
businesses.
This is a two-way street, guys. Like, we have recommendations for you, but please give us your
Yeah.
recommendations.
Yes.
Please, we're open.
Or things you want us to try in the city or
Yeah.
go to.
I will try anything once.
Oh,
please.
yeah.
Always said that.
And this is a good point to plug our email. Where
Yes.
you can send
Let me
in
get the name of
quite,
the email.
quite literally anything you want to send in. Yeah, like anything you want us to do, anything you want us to talk about.
Hot
Any-
takes,
yeah,
stories.
Hot takes, story times, you know, literally anything that you think we would anything you think we'd get all into.
If you're wanting advice, anything, let
Yeah.
us know.
Yeah, because you
Let
know,
us
I
know.
always
And our email is alwayssaidthatpodstories@gmail.com.
here we go.
Yeah.
It
So
will be
yeah,
posted
and
on our
that will-
Instagram.
And it will be listed in the show notes.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, there's 5 of us here. I know when I follow accounts or listen to people who are in New York City, I'm always thinking. Usually, it's a person whose vibes I feel like they're similar to mine. I'm like, oh, I want them to try this because I just like haven't gotten around to it, but I really don't want to do it. Before I was in this friend group, it was like usually with you guys or by myself. And if you're someone who, you feel like your vibe kind of matches us and there's something you even think that you would like that you want us to try first, be my guest. Please ask us. We
We're
actually,
always down for a good time.
yeah, and actually to come, Megan and I,
I'm joining Equinox.
finally, let's talk about
Coming
that.
out as an Equinox girl.
So yeah, I've been an Equinox girly for about half a year now, and I finally got Megan to join the dark side. So we'll be going to possibly reviewing equinoxes around Manhattan. So stay tuned for that because as a girl who is not like a gym rat, it's so intimidating, especially in someplace like Equinox. And I know for me, like I'm the type of person that I'd rather just miss out on an experience because I'm too scared. And there has to be other people out there like that. So rest assured, I will be giving a review.
I
Also,
love
me and
swimming.
Taylor will be doing boxing classes here soon.
Yeah.
Might vlog a little bit there. Could be
Might
funny.
see us. Oh, it'll definitely be something.
Can't wait to hear you two like your boxing adventure stories.
I did probably like 6 months of boxing in college with my roommate at the time, and I remember the first time that we did it, like, like they say, like they like quite literally say to you, go 60%.
Mhm.
Do not give it your all for your first time. I can't say how much they told me not to go 100%.
Mhm.
So naturally, I went about 150%. I woke up the next morning.
In pain.
Not only could I not move, my period also started.
Oh.
I was literally laying like comatose. Like could not even lift a finger to get my phone. And I also like, I'm pretty sure that turned into a cold because I remember having to also go to urgent care. So I was like super sore, literally could not move my body. My period started, and then like a day or two later, I was, like coughing and sneezing. This was, sneezing.
Oh,
So yeah, so that was like pre-COVID. So I wasn't like super panicked about being sick. And then I remember my mom, she made me go to urgent care, and I like was walking like I had just been bulldozed, I would say.
Steamrolled.
Literally steamrolled. It was so painful. But it was fun, like while we were going. But my suggestion from this:
Yes, I need.
don't go 100% on the first day
Okay.
because you will regret it.
Yeah.
If you need a break, just let someone know. They will understand. So.
Great
Yeah.
advice.
Yeah, great advice from Nikki.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So that was the Jersey Shore party.
Oh yeah.
Do we have any
Anything
stories
else?
from it that we want to
Oh well,
Do I remember the Jersey Shore?
we did a
This
white
is such a good
elephant.
point.
Yeah, I blacked out Jersey Shore night. Like, that was bad. Too many
Did
Jaeger
we get-
bombs.
Oh, we went to.
That was my first time trying Jaeger bombs.
What was your opinion on
It was
Jaeger bombs?
delicious. I
Yeah,
felt like
yeah, so
three
good.
that night.
I used to hate Jaeger bombs, and now they're one of my favorite
I didn't really
things.
like them either, but that night they were hitting.
They were fun.
I think it was just like the vibes of Jersey Shore night.
Yeah.
It fit the vibes.
Was
For
the
sure.
next day when I sent you guys the photo of the grandpa that ate paint? And
Yes.
I was feeling like
No,
or was
that's-
that New Year's
that
Day?
was New Year's
That was
Day.
I'm often feeling like the grandpa that ate paint.
Wait, no. It was no. You also sent it the day after Jersey Shore because I came here and reapplied the concealer to my lips, and I said I feel like the paint grandpa. And you said you look like him.
And for our debrief of the Jersey Shore night,
Yes.
we went to Cafe Finelli's.
One of our favorite NYC spots.
I remember, like, I don't think we were planning a debrief,
No.
but I was
No.
sitting on the couch. I had been about 3 hours deep in a sesame oil hair treatment. Not looking my best, I will say. And Megan and Taylor were out, and they called JoJo and I, because Gianna had gone home for the holiday, and we went out and ran into a couple interesting people, I will say. Completely
Yeah.
unexpected.
I don't know if these characters are always at Cafe Finelli's or just like this weird stuff just happens to us. But Emily Ratajkowski's ex-husband was there.
Emily Ratajkowski.
Along with- He was dining with who we were led to believe is Griffin Johnson.
Which,
Yeah.
odd pairing.
Odd pairing, but also none of us could remember his name while we were sitting there, and
I didn't even know who he was.
someone said Griffith.
That was
Jonathan?
me. That was me.
So sorry that we like
Sir Griffith.
mislabeled you as a 15th century lord.
Sir Griffith Johnson the
Sir
Third.
Griffith. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And,
sorry, King.
yeah. Oh, it was just it was so interesting.
Yeah.
And then allegedly one of us saw G-Eazy, but I think we had a little too much to drink for that to be reliable.
Oh, did you not know that?
No.
Oh yeah.
They
For
make their
Emily's-
drinks strong.
For the audio listener, Gianna went from about 120 degrees to about 90 degrees really quick.
Why didn't you guys tell me that?
Because I don't think it
Because
was
it's
him.
not reliable.
Honestly, it was a man in a fur coat that could have been G-Eazy.
It
It
could've
probably
been.
was because my coworker went to Little Sister and she didn't recognize that it was G-Eazy until like the day after, but he was
Wow.
there
Oh.
and she was like dancing like right next to him and like did not
Wow.
know until the next day and she was so mad.
And I feel like
Wow.
it's interesting because again, like on TikTok, we'll see like places to meet celebrities in New
Yeah.
York. Never heard of
Ne-
Cafe Finale.
Yeah.
I still have not met my first celebrity met.
No.
Seen.
No,
we saw Måneskin.
we met Måneskin.
Okay, but we paid to see
Okay,
it.
we did pay,
Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna
Okay,
run
you're right.
into someone
Or
you're
in
right.
their sweats
In
on
the
the
wild.
street.
We
Yeah.
passed one of the chain smokers.
Oh my
You
god.
passed the chain smoker?
Shut up.
Wait, you guys know that tweet where it's like, I wouldn't know the chain smoker from the back of my hand?
wouldn't.
You know the only person who would recognize a chain smoker?
We got an officer right
You like
here.
the chain smokers?
What?
You like the chain smokers?
No,
I
she
guess.
does not. She does not like the chain smokers. I don't know why she knows what they look like.
I used to
don't
listen
know.
to them, but I have no clue. What
But
they
in
look
my head, and I was like, oh my god, it was one of the chain smokers. And they were like, one. I was like, it was one half of the duo.
We were
The
like, are
chain
you sure it
smoker.
wasn't just a random white guy?
And I was
random
like,
chain
no, it was
smoker?
100% him. And I think it was because he looked at me like strange.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe it's because you yelled, that was a chain smoker. Like that time me and you controversial. We saw Alec Baldwin once on the street, and Nikki goes, "Is that Alec Baldwin?" And I went, "That's Alec Baldwin!" And I screamed it, and then he just kind of looked at us.
Oh.
Yeah, that was. Oh God. I always forget about that. And wait, didn't I just bring that up?
You did. I
So
forget in what
guys,
context.
I literally
yeah.
just like remembered that we saw Alec Baldwin. I always forget about that. That was like 2020. That was like the trenches of COVID. We were like just walking around outside one day.
We were in our Washington Square Park.
We
That's where
were.
just hanging out.
We were taking a hot girl walk, and he was like in a coffee shop and sitting outside.
With a bunch of college kids for some reason.
Yeah, and also that guy. There was a guy in like a leather jacket who was kind of like busting his balls a little bit. Like I don't really know what was happening, but that was really interesting. So
We also had a really funny waitress at Cafe Finale.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't remember what she said for the life of me.
She had lived in New York City for 20 years, and she got lost on her way to work.
she I think she lived in Chinatown, or she got lost.
She got lost in Chinatown because
Yeah.
I remember being like, me too.
Because the place was in like Soho-ish.
Yeah.
The Cafe Finale's like around in Soho. And she was coming from Chinatown. She said she got lost.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's really all I have on her.
She was in the most interesting hat. She
Yes.
she had just like come from Alaska.
It was
Yeah.
For some reason, it was cold out that day, but it wasn't
That cold.
warranting that.
for
hat.
all of my It's Always Sunny listeners.
Okay.
Picture Charlie and Frank. Approximately season 11 when Mac and Dennis moved to the suburbs and they do their Russian hat thing. This is the hat that lady was in. Completely unwarranted. No
wasn't
reason
wearing
for
a
that.
jacket, I don't think. If I'm
Mm-mm.
remembering.
No, I think
Just
she
the
was
hat.
wearing like a
She wasn't in a jacket.
zip-up sweater.
She was also like chasing people from the street.
Yeah. Well, we were
Yeah.
sitting outside. That's how like not cold it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in December.
Yeah.
They did have heaters too, so it was like,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was a strange,
You guys had
strange
a very,
weekend.
very interesting night.
It was
Yeah,
weird.
and I will say that we are not recommending this place because I did go ahead and have the absolute worst, most horrific, tasteless, classless grilled cheese I've ever had in my life.
You're gonna be banned from Cafe Finale.
Good, I don't want to go back.
I would love to go back.
I'll be back
If
there.
there's one thing I'm doing, I'm going
Going
back
back.
to Cafe Finale.
They had some pretty strong drinks.
They did. They had strong drinks.
Yeah.
It's just like rubbing.
If you're on
Yeah.
a budget, go to Cafe Finale's for a drink.
You
I
only
don't
need
think the
one.
budget. I think it was like, was it cheap? I don't even
No.
know.
No.
It was
No,
not
I mean
cheap.
like if you only need one drink to take you out for the night.
Yeah.
To take you out.
It's a
Dancing.
take you out.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking
Oh, I was
like
thinking,
swinging in a band
like
or
murdering
something.
you.
Oh.
Oh,
But yeah, that was our Jersey
funny.
Shore weekend.
That was that weekend.
Yeah.
Should we do a little hot take?
Oh yeah. We were
Mm.
thinking of making this like a weekly thing, either from one of us or if anyone wants to email us or send one in,
Drop it below.
Yeah.
we will read your hot take and dissect it. So,
Or like agree or disagree with it. I'm
Yeah.
sure between the five of us, we're definitely gonna get into some hot debates
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
I feel like the one that's most current is the Michaela Nogueira drama.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hot take.
Let's get
Yeah.
into it.
What's your hot take on it?
I think she wore falsies. 100%.
I think I don't want to say it's universally decided, but I think the consensus is she did wear falsies.
Mhm.
The question is if people agree or disagree that she should address it.
I don't know if she has. I mean, she hasn't addressed
She
it.
ha-
And
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, go off, queen. Like,
She's put
enjoy
videos out.
Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Yeah, you know,
Speaking of that,
Someone send us to Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
The
the next brand trip, please.
an interesting request.
Would love to go to Dubai.
Dubai or Jackson Hole, Wyoming, take your pick.
Wherever you want to send me, I'll go.
We'll go.
No, but I saw a TikTok this morning. I was like half awake. It was like, I don't know, a couple TikToks in, and I'm like, I see Jeffree Star.
Never a good sign.
I know. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he's just, he's talking, and he's like, so you know who's in Wyoming? And I'm like, I wonder who it could be. And he's like, Kayla.
Was
He
he
said-
back in Wyoming?
He
He's
lives
been
there.
in Wyoming.
I know, but wasn't he in Florida, Miami.
I don't think
to tend to.
I
Yeah.
remember he
Yeah.
posted
Yeah.
that photo with the NFL player.
I've only seen pictures of them on the PJ.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
then
I'm sure
there's
he
the one
goes
in the
everywhere.
bathroom with
Yeah.
the gun on the
Oh,
counter.
you're right.
Oh yes, yes. How could I forget?
All right.
So keep
Ah,
going.
Keep going.
But yeah, so he put the video on and he was like, so I know, or I saw the Michaela's in Wyoming, and he was like, yeah, I sent her a text saying like, oh, we should do a video trying out the mascara together, and then at the end he was like, yeah, she didn't respond. So
Wow.
Yeah.
When would she respond though? Because he made
Yeah.
a video completely trashing her.
Yeah.
The other day. If she has
Yeah.
any self-respect.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you know, as people who went to fashion school and like, you know, we had influencers in our classes and you know amongst our peers and you know
Influencers.
Yeah, and I use that term loosely, but you know what I mean. Where you know we are well versed in the fashion and beauty industries in terms of like you know, like the other side of the curtain behind the scenes at a brand level. You know, even our professors like who taught us. And the thing is that like whether it's true or not, no one's gonna come out and admit that,
Yeah.
right? You know,
Yeah.
that's too polarizing of a thing to do. Not saying I agree with it. Would never do that to you guys. No, would never do that to you guys. But I think from like a legal, like a realistic point of view, like legally, I just can't see how it would be feasible to do that and actually get away with it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think her best, I think the best thing she could have did was
Ignore it.
For
it
her,
because
yes.
if she does say something, she's gonna get
Anything.
backlash on whatever she says.
Legally.
Also, one of my coworkers did mention, and I am not speaking this as truth, I am simply repeating some shared information. She said that some people were watching her Social Blade, or actually, I don't even know if Social Blade is just for YouTube, but she said, like, her wherever you can view someone's, like, TikTok followers, because I was saying that her follower count has pretty much stayed the same, which is insane.
Yes.
Which is like around 14.5-ish million.
Crazy.
And I was like, you know, that's kind of weird. And then she said, oh, you know, actually, like I saw that people were watching her TikTok followers and they were being bought back, she was gaining TikTok followers in 100,000 increments, which is like,
Yeah, that's
she might be buying them. This is not true. Or no, this is not confirmed truth.
This is not true. We actually lie here all the time.
I'm spreading misinformation.
It couldn't even.
no,
Who's to say it's even her? Maybe she has a manager or something. That's
Yeah.
No, that
you
yeah,
know.
and that's what I'm saying. Is that like you know, that's another thing. Is that like that makes her look even more guilty. So I don't know. Just sharing some info here.
And this isn't Michaela hate.
no.
We love her.
We're just discussing.
We're just discussing.
I actually really like her.
Same.
Well, I always did.
Yeah, you know,
It's definitely
Love a
just
good Boston.
and there's something to be said too about like the genuine appreciation that I have, and I'm sure everyone here has for people who represent like actual real people who don't try to make their lives look incredibly perfect and unattainable all the time. That was the appeal that I got about Michaela is that, and it's something that I hope to contribute, you know, to like the stratosphere of the internet is just being a real person and not like an idea, which I'm guilty of in my past. You know, never wanted to be perceived, but like that's not how life works.
Yeah, and I think there is also something to say about the fact that she's literally our age.
Yeah.
She's 20.
Is she really?
She's 23. Well, she's not JoJo's age.
Oh, I'm sorry that I'm a
JoJo's-
geriatric Gen Zer.
She's literally our age, so it's like thinking about how little we know about not only like the internet and social media, but also like the legal system and how these kinds of brand things work. Like, you know, none of us know anything about that, and like it's just crazy. I mean, again, I'm saying this is neither here nor there. None of us are really like pro or against what she did here. But yeah, it's just kind of weird to think like that could be me.
Yeah.
I think that like adds a lot of, you know, context to the situation of like, you know, she's literally just like trying her best. She's been in the internet like on TikTok and stuff for a while and has stayed
Pretty relevant.
mostly
Yeah.
relevant, mostly controversial.
Uncontroversial. Yeah.
Except for the 519 comment.
Yeah, and like I think that everyone's gonna make mistakes. So
Yeah.
No, and I can't even imagine like being an influencer being my main source of income and that pressure to have that like funding not even my lifestyle but paying my bills. Where's the start and the stop of it?
Yeah.
That being said, though, as a consumer of that content, when I was growing up, I was so passionate about like being part of the beauty community because at some point my only friends, that was my comfort. And when I was more of a newer consumer of that, like morally, I was so black and white. It was like, are you a morally good person? Are you a morally bad person? Are you like going to be truthful in a review or not? And I think as I've gotten older and consumed a lot more content, it's not always the case of it being so black and white. I still think that in some cases, but
Yeah.
So real for that.
So real for that.
Not to get philosophical or anything.
Well,
Alright.
butting off of that, I would love for Tom Brady, I think a PR move, a free PR move for Tom Brady. Date Jeffree Star.
Do it.
Who do we think is in that photo?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
It
There's
did
no
look
way.
like him from the back,
No,
but
well,
I
when
don't
he
think
announced
it is
he was
him.
retiring, it was a video of him at the beach where he's like, I'm just gonna cut to it. Also, he posted that video on National Women in Sports Day. So everyone just talked about that.
That's such a Tom Brady thing to do.
Yeah.
And then he went to rage eat another almond.
Aww.
Single.
Yeah.
One almond.
Almond dad.
Almond.
Yes, yeah. Tom
Yeah.
Brady seems like he would be an almond dad.
Yeah.
What is it, Dad?
An
Or-
almond mom.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have an almond mom. I don't know if anyone here does, but
No.
no.
Is
Okay.
Gem an almond mom?
Jem didn't raise me, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
An almond mom is
Like a mom that would be like, oh, I'm so full. I had
I
a
had
handful of
yogurt.
nuts for breakfast
Oh,
today.
yeah.
And
Or
it's like
like
7 p.m.
Or
Okay.
says like, sweetie, you're hungry. Have an almond.
Have a glass of water and then check back.
What is
in an
that, like
hour.
Yolanda Hadid?
Like, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
someone who
I know
I'm
whose
sure-
mom is an almond mom.
Actually, I know 2 almond moms. We're gonna offline about that.
Yeah.
2 huge almond moms
Who's
growing
like,
up in the dance community.
who give their children, like eating disorders. basically.
Okay.
So he's
Not
doing
Jem.
that as a dad.
Yeah, he gives almond dad vibes.
So, any closing thoughts or anything before we wrap up our first podcast episode?
I do want to add something. Well, I want to know what you guys think.
We want
Please,
feedback.
Please let
Yeah.
us know. Also, like for any of the hot topics, like please give your opinion. Maybe we'll talk about it next episode. This is meant to be you're meant to be the 6th person in our friend group. So please give your input.
Yeah, and to what Megan was saying, we're still very new to all of the microphones and the soundboard and everything like that. So go easy on us if
Yeah.
anything sounds a little weird or the video is not super good quality. We're trying.
We'll get it together.
Yeah.
We'll get it together.
We are not women in STEM.
We are not
Yeah.
women in STEM.
We also are clearly in the market for new mics. So if anyone has, a recommendation of like a cheap, good one,
Let us know.
Yeah.
pop that down below.
Yeah.
All right.
Be on the lookout for next week's episode where we'll get into anything and everything that went down with our date party.
Yeah.
If we had dates,
if it turned into a Galentine's,
Yeah.
who knows?
who knows
If
what'll
one
happen.
person shows up,
Yeah, and we also want to take a little moment to plug some of our socials.
Yes.
So that you guys can continue to be more interactive with us and we can get some feedback and how you guys are thinking about the pod. So
Yeah.
Megan is going to take that away.
So as we said before, if you want to tell us a story, alwayssaidthatpodstories@gmail.com. Our Instagram is always said that. Our Twitter is always said that. And our TikTok is always said that pod.
And they will be linked down below.
In the show notes.
In the
Yes.
show notes.
Yeah. And also, if you follow our Instagram in the bio, got it all.
And also we do interact with everyone on the page, so you feel like you're like vibing specifically with any one of us. Oh, also we have a Spotify.
Yes.
Spotify playlist. You're probably on Spotify listening to us, but we do have
Besides
playlists.
our Spotify podcast account, we just have a Spotify personal account.
Yeah, so you can listen to our group Always Said That Pod playlist, or again, if you feel like, you know, you're relating to one of us specifically, or you are trying to figure out which one of us you relate to, form that parasocial relationship. Check out our individual playlists. We had so much fun creating them.
Yes. Some a little more than others.
One of them is 10
you.
hours.
All right, guys, we will see you next week.
Like, subscribe, comment, share, tell your friends.
Yes.
And
We'll
I've
see you
always said
next
that.
week. We've always said that.
Bye.
Bye.